Alex Mason wiped sweat from his forehead as he finished his 20th pull-up. The gym in the Terran Defense Academy was quiet this early in the morning. Only humans used the high-gravity section. Their alien classmates couldn't handle the 1.3 G, setting that felt almost comfortable to the cadets from Earth. "You're slowing down, Mason," Samantha Wright called from the running track. Her blonde hair was tied back tightly, her face slightly red from exertion. "Bad night?" Alex dropped to the floor and grabbed his water bottle. "Dreams again, the same one about the colony attack." Samantha slowed to a walk, her breathing already returning to normal. Earthborn humans recovered quickly, another trait that surprised their alien instructors. "We all have those," she said. "Kyle still wakes up thinking he hears mountain lions." Alex nodded. Growing up on Earth, classified as a Class 12 death world by the Galactic Confederation, meant dealing with dangers most alien species couldn't imagine. High gravity, extreme weather, earthquakes, and countless predators had shaped humans into something the galaxy found both fascinating and terrifying. "Morning brief in 20 minutes, Alex reminded her. Olivia said Commander Patel has a new simulation planned. The mess hall was divided as usual. Humans at one table, various alien species clustered at others. Not from any official segregation, but from comfort and dietary needs. Kyle Bennett was already there, his tall frame hunched over a tray piled with protein-rich food. "Did you leave any food for the rest of us?" Olivia Diaz asked as she sat beside him. Her dark eyes scanned the room, noting the positions of their instructors and fellow cadets, a habit from growing up in a region with active predators. Kyle smiled, revealing slightly sharper than average canines. "Have to maintain mass in this low gravity. I've lost 5 pounds since arriving." The station's 0.8 G environment was a compromise, too heavy for many alien species, too light for humans. Alex sometimes felt like he was walking on the moon. "Attention, all cadets," a voice announced over the speaker system. "Report to Simulation Chamber 3 for today's exercise." The humans exchanged glances. Chamber 3 was for combat scenarios, not the usual navigation or diplomacy exercises the Academy preferred. "Finally," Kyle whispered. "Something interesting." Simulation Chamber was a large room that could be configured for various scenarios. Today it displayed a holographic representation of a small outpost. Commander Patel, a stern woman with graying hair, stood at the entrance. "Today's exercise, defense against unexpected hostiles," she announced. "Mixed species teams will be assigned sectors to protect. The simulation will last 2 hours." Alex was paired with a Venturi named Zix, a tall, thin alien with pale blue skin and forearms. Venturi came from a low-gravity moon with no predators and few natural disasters. Zix had never experienced real danger before the Academy. "I will follow your lead on combat tactics," Zix said softly. "My people are not natural warriors." Alex nodded respectfully. "And I'll rely on your technical skills. Venturi are the best engineers in the galaxy." Their assigned sector was the Outpost's Communication Center. As the simulation began, holographic enemies, modeled after a warrior species called the Draconids, began their attack. Zix worked quickly to establish defensive barriers while Alex prepared simulated weapons. They had just finished when the first alarm sounded, not from the simulation but from the station itself. The holographic environment flickered and disappeared. Commander Patel's voice came through clearly. "This is not part of the exercise. All cadets report to your emergency stations immediately. This is not a drill." Alex felt his heart rate increase, his body automatically preparing for danger, pupils dilating, adrenaline releasing, muscles tensing. Around him, the alien cadets looked confused, some beginning to panic. "What's happening?" Zix asked, 2 of his 4 hands trembling. "Unknown," Alex replied, already moving toward the exit. "But we should find the others." They met Samantha, Kyle, and Olivia in the corridor. The station's lights had switched to emergency mode, casting everything in a dim red glow. 6 unidentified vessels just dropped out of faster-than-light travel, Olivia reported, looking at her data pad. They're not responding to hails and they're approaching fast. Pirates? Kyle suggested, his body language shifting to what their alien classmates called predator mode, the alertness that came naturally to humans from dangerous environments. Not likely, Samantha said. Pirates don't attack Confederation academies, too well defended. The station shuddered suddenly. Alex steadied himself against the wall, while Zix nearly fell over. That was weapons fire, Alex said with certainty. They're attacking the station. Commander Patel's voice came over the speakers again. All non-combat personnel proceed to the central shelter. All security personnel to defensive positions. All cadets remain in your quarters. The 5 of them exchanged looks. Our quarters are on different decks, Olivia pointed out, and I'm not sitting in my room during an actual attack. Alex nodded. Command center. We can get better information there. They moved through the corridors, noting the increasing anxiety among the alien cadets and staff. Most species in the Confederation came from stable, safe worlds. Sudden violence was outside their experience. When they reached the command center, they found chaos. Officers were shouting reports while tactical displays showed multiple hostile ships surrounding the station. Shields at 60%. Communications are being jammed. Reinforcements are at least 2 hours away. Commander Patel stood in the center, trying to maintain order. She noticed the human cadets and frowned. I ordered all cadets to quarters, she said sharply. With respect, Commander, Alex replied. We have combat training. Most of the other cadets don't. Before she could respond, another hit rocked the station. Shields at 40%. We have boarders in Section 7. Commander Patel's expression hardened. This station has 300 students from 30 species. Most have never seen actual combat. If those boarders reach the residential sections, she didn't need to finish. Alex and his fellow humans understood immediately. Most alien cadets would be helpless against armed invaders. Let us help, Samantha said. Earth's military training starts at age 16. We've all completed basics, combat certification. The commander hesitated, then nodded sharply. What would you suggest, Cadet Mason? Alex stepped forward and studied the tactical display. The attacking ships had surrounded the station but were only firing at specific systems: defense, communications, and propulsion. They weren't trying to destroy the station, just disable it. They want something here, he said. Or someone. Kyle pointed to Section 7. Boarders are heading toward the laboratories. There's research there, right? Classified biotech. Commander Patel confirmed. Experimental medical nanites. Alex looked at his fellow human cadets, seeing the same determination in their eyes. On Earth, protecting your community wasn't just training, it was instinct. We can stop them, he said, but we'll need access to the armory. Commander Patel studied them for a long moment, then made her decision. Granted. Security code. Patel Alpha 93. Don't make me regret this, cadets. As they turned to leave, Zix stepped forward. I want to help too. The humans paused in surprise. Venturi were not known for courage in dangerous situations. It will be dangerous, Alex warned. Zix's 4 hands were steady now. You said my people are the best engineers. You'll need someone who can bypass security systems and hack their tech. Alex smiled and nodded. Welcome to the team. As they headed toward the armory, the station shook again. Somewhere, a hull breach alarm started wailing. How long until reinforcements? Olivia asked. 2 hours minimum, Alex replied. But we don't need reinforcements. We just need to hold them off. Samantha checked her watch. So we end this in under 2 hours? Kyle grinned as they reached the armory door. I bet we can do it in 1. The armory door slid open after Commander Patel's code was accepted. Inside, rows of weapons lined the walls. Most were non-lethal. The academy was a place of learning, not war. But Alex and his fellow humans knew even training weapons could be deadly in the right hands. Basic loadout, Alex said. Stun batons, shield generators, and comm units. Kyle picked up a shock baton and tested its weight. These are set to training levels. We need full power. Samantha was already at the control panel. I can override the safety protocols, give me a minute. While she worked, Olivia distributed comm units, small devices that fit behind the ear. Channel 3. It's encrypted and separate from the main station channels. Zix watched with 4 wide eyes. You all seem so prepared. Alex smiled grimly. On Earth, we train for emergencies from childhood. Fire drills, earthquake procedures, predator defense. Being ready is part of being human. Done, Samantha announced. Weapons at full capacity. Olivia pulled up the station's schematics on her datapad. Borders are in sections 7 and 9, now moving toward the biotech labs from 2 directions. Alex studied the map. 2 teams. Samantha and I will take section 7. Kyle, you and Olivia handle section 9. Zix comes with us. We'll need tech support. Kyle nodded. What's the plan? Just stop them? Capture if possible, Alex replied. But protect the other cadets at all costs. They moved out, splitting up, at the main corridor. The station emergency systems were blaring warnings about hull breaches and system failures. Most of the alien cadets had made it to the central shelter, but some were still in the corridors, looking lost and afraid. Get to the shelter now, Samantha told a group of Malorian cadets, small, yellow-skinned aliens with large eyes. Follow the green emergency lights. As they approached Section 7, they heard sounds of struggle. Rounding a corner, they saw 2 security officers pinned down behind an overturned desk. Across from them, 3 figures in black armor were firing energy weapons. Station security is using stun settings, Samantha whispered. But those invaders are using lethal force. Alex, assess the situation quickly. I'll draw their fire. Samantha, circle around through the maintenance shaft. Zix, can you hack into the corridor lighting? The Venturi nodded, his 4 hands already working on his datapad. Ready when you are. Alex touched his comm. Security officers, this is Cadet Mason. We're here to help. On my signal, keep firing to pin them down. One of the officers gave a quick thumbs up. Now, Alex said. Zix killed the lights. In the sudden darkness, Alex moved with the confidence of someone used to navigating without sight. Earth had night predators. Humans had evolved good night vision and spatial awareness. The invaders, surprised by the darkness, fired blindly. Alex rolled behind them as Samantha emerged from a small maintenance hatch in the wall. Together, they struck with their batons. The electrical charge at full power went right through the invaders' armor. Within seconds, 3 attackers lay unconscious on the floor. The lights came back on. The security officers stared in amazement. How did you... One began. No time. Alex cut him off. There are more invaders in Section 9. Secure these prisoners and get to the command center. As they moved on, Zix examined one of the fallen invaders. This is not Confederation technology. I don't recognize the design. Samantha took pictures with her datapad. Command center needs to see this. She sent the images, then rejoined Alex and Zix as they continued toward the labs. In Section 9, Kyle and Olivia faced a larger group of invaders, 5 armored figures, cutting through a sealed door with plasma torches. That's the main lab entrance, Olivia whispered. They're almost through. Kyle checked his baton. Direct approach? Olivia shook her head. Too many. We need a distraction. She pointed to the environmental controls on the wall. Can you reach those? Kyle nodded. He moved silently along the wall, a skill learned hunting in Earth's forests. When he reached the controls, he looked back at Olivia, who held up 3 fingers, then 2, then 1. Kyle smashed the controls. Immediately, the fire suppression system activated, spraying the corridor with flame-retardant foam. The invaders shouted in confusion as their visors were covered. Olivia moved in, striking at the nearest 2 invaders. Kyle joined her, taking down another. But the remaining 2 recovered quickly, firing their weapons. A shot grazed Kyle's arm. He hissed in pain but didn't slow down. Instead, he charged forward, tackling one invader to the ground. The move would have been foolish for most species, but humans had evolved on a high-gravity world. The force of Kyle's tackle slammed the armored figure into the wall hard enough to crack their helmet. Olivia disabled the last invader with her baton. then helped Kyle zip-tie the unconscious attackers. "You're hit," she said, looking at his arm. Kyle shrugged. "Just a graze. Had worse from my sister's cat." Their comms crackled. "Kyle, Olivia," Alex's voice came through. "Status?" "5 down," Kyle reported. "Lab secure. We're good." "Same here," Alex replied. "But we have a problem. According to the command center, there are at least 20 more invaders on the station." Olivia checked her datapad. "They're spreading out through the lower decks, heading toward the reactor control." "They're trying to take over the station," Kyle realized. "Not just steal research." In Section 7, Alex, Samantha, and Zix had reached the biotech labs. Inside, they found 2 scientists hiding under tables. The attackers tried to break in, one scientist explained, but they couldn't get past the security locks. "What are they after?" Alex asked. The scientist hesitated, then spoke. "Project Phoenix, medical nanites designed to repair cellular damage. In the wrong hands, they could be reprogrammed as weapons." Alex's comm unit beeped. "Mason," Commander Patel's voice came through. "We've identified the attackers. They're mercenaries working for the Corvin Dominion, a species from the outer systems, not part of the Confederation." "What do they want?" Samantha asked. "Intelligence suggests they're after multiple things: the nanite research, weapons technology, and control of the station itself. A Confederation academy would be a valuable hostage." Alex looked at his fellow cadets. Even Zix seemed ready for action now. "Commander, we can stop them, but we need access to the station systems." There was a pause. "What are you planning, Mason?" "Earth tactics," Alex replied. "They've never faced humans before. They don't know what we're capable of." Another pause. "Granted. Full system access authorization, Patel Delta 7. Samantha smiled. "Now we can really have some fun." Alex turned to Zix. "Can you access the station's gravity controls from here?" The Venturi's eyes widened. "Yes, but oh, I see what you're planning." His 4 hands began typing rapidly. "Section by section control, yes, I can do that." "Good," Alex said. "Olivia, Kyle, get to environmental control. We're going to give these invaders a proper Earth welcome." "What's the plan?" Kyle asked over the comm. Alex grinned. "Remember our Earth history lessons? The home field advantage. We're going to turn this station into a Class 12 death world." Samantha checked her watch. 15 minutes down, 45 to go if we want to wrap this up in under an hour." "Plenty of time," Alex said. He looked at his team. "Let's show these invaders why you don't mess with DeathworLders." Zix's 4 hands moved quickly across the control panel. "I have access to all station systems now," he said. Alex nodded. "First, we need to know where all the invaders are." He turned to Samantha. "Can you tap into the security cameras?" Samantha was already working on it. "Got them. 23 invaders still active. Main groups are heading to reactor control in the command center. Some are patrolling corridors." "Perfect," Alex said. He touched his comm unit. "Kyle, Olivia, what's your status?" "At environmental control," Olivia replied. "Ready when you are." Alex looked at the station schematic on the main screen. "Here's the plan. We're going to create Earth-like conditions in selected areas to slow them down, then pick them off group by group." Zix looked worried. "Earth-like conditions? That could hurt the other alien cadets." "They're all in the central shelter," Samantha reminded him. "We'll avoid that section." Alex pointed to different areas on the map. Section by section. First, gravity increases to 1.3 G in the corridors where invader patrols are. Then temperature drops in the path to reactor control. Finally, we increase atmospheric pressure near the command center. Zix nodded in understanding. "The Corvin homeworld is a low-gravity, hot, dry planet. These conditions will be extremely difficult for them." "Exactly," Alex said. "Begin with gravity changes now." With a few commands, Zix increased gravity in 8 selected corridors to Earth normal levels, about 30% higher than the station's regular setting. On the security feeds, they watched as the invader patrols suddenly stumbled, struggling to move in the increased gravity. "Olivia, Kyle," Alex said, into his comm. "Your turn. Drop the temperature in sections 14 through 17. "On it," Kyle replied. The temperature in those sections quickly fell to 10-degree Celsius, 50-degree warm. Cool by human standards, but nearly freezing for the Corvin invaders, whose homeworld rarely went below 30 degrees. On the screens, they watched as the invaders, heading toward reactor control, slowed dramatically, their movements becoming sluggish. "Now for atmospheric pressure," Alex said. "Increase by 15% in sections 20 through 23. Zix made the adjustments. The higher pressure would feel uncomfortable to humans, but would cause serious disorientation for the Corvins. "Time to move," Alex told his team. "Samantha, you and Zix stay here and coordinate. Keep changing conditions to herd them where we want them. I'm going after the patrol group in section 12. I'll handle the ones near reactor control," Olivia said over the comm. "And I've got the group heading to the command center," Kyle added. Alex checked his stun baton and headed out. The corridor felt wonderfully familiar now with Earth-normal gravity. He moved quickly, his body responding naturally to the conditions that had shaped human evolution. The invader patrol was easy to find. 4 Corvins in black armor were struggling to move, leaning against walls for support. "What's happening?" one of them said in their language, which Alex's translator picked up. "Gravity systems must be malfunctioning." Alex stepped around the corner, baton ready. "Not malfunctioning," he said. "This is how my world feels all the time." The Corvins raised their weapons, but they were slow, disoriented. Alex moved with the speed and confidence of someone in his natural environment. One by one, he took them down, his baton delivering powerful electrical charges through their armor. In section 16, Olivia encountered 6 Corvins shivering and moving slowly in the cooler temperature. They had reached the entrance to reactor control but were struggling with the security panel. "A hurry," one said to another. "This keep cold is unbearable." Olivia approached silently from behind. She had grown up in a mountain region on Earth where cold survival was a basic skill. To her, the temperature was merely brisk. When she struck, the Corvins barely had time to react. 2 fell immediately to her baton. The others tried to fight back, but their movements were sluggish. Olivia ducked under their clumsy attacks and disabled them efficiently. "Reactor control secure," she reported through her comm. Near the command center, Kyle faced the biggest challenge: 8 Corvins pushing through the increased atmospheric pressure. They moved more carefully than the others, adapting better to the changed conditions. These must be their elite troops, he muttered to himself. He couldn't take on 8 at once, not even with their disadvantage. He needed a better plan. "Samantha," he said into his comm, "can you access the sound systems in section 22? "Yes," she replied. "What do you need?" "Earth predator sounds," Kyle said. "Mountain lion and wolf, as loud as possible." Seconds later, the corridor filled with the screeching roar of a mountain lion followed by wolf howls. The sounds echoed off the metal walls, amplified and distorted. The Corvins froze. Their species had no large predators on their homeworld. These sounds triggered deep, instinctive fear responses. While they were disoriented, Kyle attacked. He took down 3 before they realized what was happening. The others regrouped quickly, but Kyle kept moving, using the continued animal sounds as cover for his approach. One Corvin got off a shot that grazed Kyle's leg. He grunted in pain but pushed through it, another human trait, the ability to function despite injury. The last 4 Corvins formed a defensive circle, weapons out. Kyle backed off momentarily. "Zix," he said into his comm, "can you kill the lights in this section?" The corridor plunged into darkness. The Corvins fired blindly, energy beams lighting up the dark in brief flashes. But Kyle, like all humans, had decent night vision. He moved between the flashes, striking and retreating. When the lights came back on, all 8 Corvins were down. "Command, center approach secure," Kyle reported, binding the unconscious invaders with zip ties. Back in the lab, Samantha tracked their progress on the security feeds. That's 15 down, 8 more scattered throughout the station. Alex returned, slightly, out of breath but unhurt. Status? Kyle took a hit to the leg but says it's minor, Samantha reported. Olivia is checking reactor control for sabotage. The remaining invaders seem to be retreating toward their entry points. They're trying to escape, Zix said, surprised. I didn't expect them to give up so quickly. Alex shook his head. They're regrouping, calling for backup probably. We can't let them, Samantha said. If they get word out about the station's defenses, I can block their communications, Zix offered. But we need to secure their ships. They must have a way to call for help from there. Alex nodded. That's our next target then, the docking bay. He checked his watch. 28 minutes so far, we're making good time. Zix looked at him in amazement. You humans really think you can end this invasion in under an hour, don't? You? Of course, Samantha said with a grin. We haven't even started using the really dirty tricks yet. Alex touched his comm unit. Olivia, Kyle, meet us at Docking Bay 2. Time to end this. The 4 humans and Zix met in the corridor outside Docking Bay 2. Kyle limped slightly but waved off concerns about his injured leg. Just a burn, he said. Already put sealant on it. What's the situation? Alex asked, looking at Samantha's datapad. 8 invaders left, she replied. They've retreated to their ships. 2 vessels docked in Bay 2. Alex studied the layout on the screen. They'll be expecting us, probably setting up defenses. Olivia pointed to a maintenance hatch on the schematic. We could enter through there, come up behind them. Too small for all of us, Kyle noted. Maybe one person. Alex nodded. Olivia, you're the smallest. You go through the maintenance shaft. We'll create a distraction at the main door. What kind of distraction? Samantha asked. Alex smiled. Something loud. Something very human. He turned to Zix. Can you access the bay's cargo handling systems? Zix nodded, 4 hands working on his datapad. Yes. What do you need? When I give the signal, drop all the cargo containers, as many as possible. While Zix prepared, Alex outlined the rest of the plan. Samantha would hack into the ship's systems once they gained entry. Kyle would cover the main entrance, and Alex would lead the direct assault. Ready? Alex asked. Everyone nodded. Olivia disappeared into the maintenance hatch, moving silently through the narrow passage. Alex, Kyle, and Samantha positioned themselves at the main door. Zix stayed back, connected to the station systems through his datapad. Olivia in position? Alex asked through the comm. Almost, came the soft reply. Give me 30 seconds. They waited, weapons ready. The stun batons had proven effective against the Corvin armor, but direct confrontation with 8 opponents would be challenging. In position, Olivia finally reported. I can see all 8. They're setting up a defensive line facing the main door. Perfect, Alex said. Zix, on my mark, drop the cargo. Olivia, once the chaos starts, take down as many as you can. We'll enter immediately after. He took a deep breath. Fighting had never been his first choice, but Earth's harsh environment ensured all humans knew how to defend themselves. Mark, Alex said sharply. Inside the bay, massive cargo containers suddenly released from their magnetic holders. They crashed to the floor with deafening noise, some missing the Corvins by mere inches. In the confusion, Olivia struck. She moved. From her hiding place, taking down 2 invaders before they realized she was there. Alex hit the door control, and he, Kyle, and Samantha rushed in. The remaining 6 Corvins were scattered, some pinned behind fallen cargo, others trying to regroup. Split up, Alex ordered. The humans moved with practiced coordination. Samantha headed for the nearest ship, intending to access its systems. Kyle took position near the door, cutting off any escape. Alex charged directly at the largest group of Corvins. 1 invader fired, the energy blast scorching the wall beside Alex. He dodged and rolled, coming up close enough to strike with his baton. The Corvin fell, armor sparking with electricity. Nearby, Olivia faced 2 opponents at once. She ducked under a swinging arm, and delivered a precise strike to the first invader's knee joint. As that one fell, she spun and caught the second with her baton. 4 down, she reported. Kyle engaged a Corvan trying to circle around toward Samantha. Despite his injured leg, he moved fluidly, using techniques from Earth martial arts. The Corvan's armor gave them strength, but Kyle's natural adaptation to high gravity gave him speed and endurance. 5 down, Kyle called after delivering a powerful strike. Alex found himself facing the last 2 invaders, larger than the others, possibly leaders. They had positioned themselves with their backs to one of the ships, energy weapons aimed steadily. "Surrender," Alex said, baton ready. "Your invasion has failed." "Humans," one spat the word like an insult. "We were told this station would have minimal resistance." Nothing was said about DeathworLders. "Surprise," Alex replied with a grim smile. The Corvans exchanged looks, then fired simultaneously. Alex dove aside, the energy blasts hitting a fallen cargo container instead. He rolled to his feet and charged, closing the distance before they could adjust their aim. The fight was brief, but intense. The Corvans were skilled warriors, but they were fighting in conditions their bodies weren't designed for. Alex, born on Earth, moved with the confidence of someone in his natural environment. When it ended, all 8 invaders lay unconscious on the bay floor. "Secure them," Alex ordered, catching his breath. "Samantha, what's the status on the ships?" Samantha emerged from the nearest vessel, datapad in hand. "I'm in their systems. They were definitely calling for backup. A larger invasion fleet is waiting just outside sensor range." "Can you send them a message?" Alex asked. Samantha nodded. "What do you want me to say?" "Tell them their advance team was captured by first-year cadets," Kyle suggested with a grin. "That should scare them off." "Better idea," Olivia said. "Send them the footage from the security cameras. Let them see exactly what happened to their elite troops." Alex nodded. "Do it, and add a message. This station is protected by humans from Earth, a Class 12 death world. Any further hostile action will be met with more extreme measures." While Samantha worked, Zix entered the bay, looking around at the fallen invaders with wide eyes. "You really did it," he said, amazed. 8 against 4, and you barely seem tired. "Endurance," Kyle explained. "Earth's gravity and varied environments mean humans evolved to keep going under stress." Zix shook his head in wonder. "The stories about DeathworLders, I thought they were exaggerated. They're not, are they?" "Message sent," Samantha reported, "and I'm getting a response already." They all looked at her datapad. The message was brief. "Withdrawing from sector. Will report station has unexpectedly strong defenses." Alex smiled. "They're running." "Of course they are," Olivia said. "No one wants to fight DeathworLders if they can avoid it." Kyle checked his watch. 43 minutes since the alarm sounded. We did it with time to spare." Alex touched his comm unit. "Commander Patel, this is Mason. Docking Bay 2 secure. All invaders captured. Their fleet is retreating." There was a moment of silence. Then Commander Patel's voice came through, sounding slightly stunned. "Confirmed, Cadet. Sensors show the fleet moving away. Well done. Return to the command center." As they secured the last of the unconscious invaders, Samantha noticed something on one of the ship's displays. "Alex, take a look at this," she called. "It's their mission briefing." Alex joined her at the console. The screen showed details of the Corvan plan, a quick raid to capture valuable research and test the station's defenses, followed by a full invasion if successful. "They were planning to take over the entire station," Alex said. "Use it as a foothold in this sector." "And they would have succeeded," Zix added quietly, "if you humans hadn't been here." The 4 humans exchanged looks. They hadn't done anything special, not by Earth standards. They had simply used their natural abilities in a crisis. "Confederation security needs serious improvement," Kyle noted. "If first-year cadets can stop an invasion, that's a problem for another day," Alex said. "For now, let's get to the command center. Commander Patel is waiting." As they headed for the door, Zix stopped them. I just want to say, I'm glad you're on our side. The galaxy is safer with humans as allies. Alex smiled. That's why we're here, isn't it? To work together. Different species, different strengths. But some strengths, Samantha added with a grin, are just a bit more impressive than others. The command center was buzzing with activity when Alex, Samantha, Kyle, Olivia, and Zix arrived. Station security officers were coordinating repairs while medical teams treated the few injuries. Commander Patel stood at the central console reviewing damage reports. She looked up as they entered. For a moment, she simply stared at them. 4 human cadets and 1 Venturi, all looking tired but proud. 47 minutes, she said finally. From first alarm to complete resolution. I've never seen anything like it. Alex stood straight despite his fatigue. The station is secure, Commander. All invaders captured. Their fleet retreating. Commander, Patel's expression was hard to read. You disobeyed standard procedures, accessed restricted systems, modified station environments without authorization, and engaged in direct combat with hostile forces. She paused. And in doing so, you saved this station and everyone on it. The other officers in the command center had stopped working to listen. Many were looking at the human cadets with new expressions. Respect, amazement, and perhaps a touch of fear. The Confederation Security Council has already contacted us, Commander Patel continued. They want a full report on how a training academy with minimal defense capabilities repelled an invasion force. Kyle grinned. Tell them it was just a normal day for humans. Commander Patel almost smiled. I'm not sure the Council is ready to hear that particular truth, Cadet Bennett. She turned to a nearby screen. We've reviewed the security footage. Your tactics were unorthodox, but effective, Samantha pointed out. Very, the commander agreed. Particularly your environmental adjustments. Creating Earth-like conditions throughout the station was brilliant. Zix stepped forward. That was Cadet Mason's idea, Commander. Using the station itself as a weapon. A medical officer approached, scanner in hand. Permission to treat the injured, Commander? Commander Patel nodded. Of course. The medical officer, a blue-skinned Andarian, moved to scan Kyle's leg first. He looked at the readings with surprise. This energy weapon burn is deep, he said. How are you even walking? Kyle shrugged. It's just pain. We learned to work through pain during basic training. The Andarian shook his head as he applied a healing gel to the wound. Humans and their pain tolerance. Most species would be incapacitated by a burn like this. While the cadets received medical treatment, the command center continued to buzz with activity. Reports came in from throughout the station as systems were brought back online and damage was assessed. Minimal structural damage, one officer reported. Life support at 100%, communications restored. Commander Patel nodded with satisfaction. And the invaders? All 23 secured in the station's detention area, a security officer replied. They're still unconscious from the stun batons. Alex watched the activity around him, feeling a strange mix of pride and humility. They had done what needed to be done, nothing more. Yet the way the station crew looked at them now was different, as if seeing them truly for the first time. What happens now? Olivia asked. Confederation security forces will arrive in approximately 1 hour, Commander Patel said. They'll take custody of the prisoners and provide additional protection while we repair the station. 1 hour, Samantha said with a smile. They're a bit slow, aren't they? Several officers chuckled at that tension breaking. Commander Patel's comm unit beeped. She listened for a moment, then looked up with surprise. The central shelter is opening. The other cadets are returning to their quarters. Alex hadn't considered what would happen after the crisis. How would their fellow cadets react to what had happened? They soon found out. As they left the command center to return to their own quarters, they found the corridors lined with cadets from various species. As the humans passed, a strange thing happened. The alien cadets stepped back, creating a clear path. Some nodded respectfully. Others watched with wide eyes. A few actually bowed. What's happening? Kyle whispered. They know, Zix explained quietly. The whole station has seen the security footage by now. They know what you did. A small Malorian cadet stepped forward, suddenly. Is it true? She asked in a high, clear voice. Did you really defeat the invaders by making the station like Earth? Alex nodded. It gave us an advantage. The Malorian shivered slightly. We learned about Class 12 death worlds in xenobiology class, but we thought the descriptions were exaggerated for dramatic effect. They're not, Samantha said simply. The crowd of cadets parted further as they continued down the corridor. Alex felt uncomfortable with the attention. Humans didn't consider themselves special or extraordinary. They had simply evolved on a particularly challenging world. When they reached the residential section, Commander Patel's voice came over the station-wide comm system. Attention all personnel. The recent crisis has been resolved thanks to the quick actions of several cadets. The station is secure, and all systems are returning to normal operation. Classes will resume tomorrow. Today, rest and recover. In the humans' shared common room, they finally had a moment alone. Kyle collapsed onto a couch, stretching his injured leg in front of him. Well, that was exciting, he said. Think we'll get extra credit for saving the station? Olivia laughed. Probably not, but I bet the combat simulation scores get recalibrated. Alex looked out the viewport at the stars beyond. Somewhere out there, the Corvin fleet was retreating, carrying news of their failed invasion. They'll tell others, he said quietly, about what happened here. Samantha joined him at the viewport. Good. Maybe the next group will think twice before attacking a station with humans on board. A soft chime announced a visitor. The door slid open to reveal Commander Patel. May I come in? She asked. The cadet stood quickly, even Kyle, despite his injury. Of course, Commander, Alex said. She entered, looking around the simple room before focusing on the 4 humans. The Confederation Security Council has reviewed the preliminary reports, she said. They were impressed and concerned. Concerned? About what? Olivia asked. About the implications, Commander Patel replied. 4 first-year cadets stopped an invasion force that should have overwhelmed our defenses. It raises questions about our standard security protocols. We just did what we were trained to do, Alex said. Commander Patel nodded. That's precisely what concerns them. Human training and capabilities are unlike anything in the Confederation. You've been here less than 6 months, yet you handled a crisis better than most veteran officers would have. She handed Alex a datapad. The Council is creating a new training program, effective immediately. Earth combat tactics and emergency response procedures will be added to the standard curriculum for all Confederation security forces. Alex looked at the pad in surprise. They want us to teach? You 4 specifically? Commander Patel confirmed. Alongside your regular studies, of course. The humans exchanged glances. Teaching alien species how to fight like humans? It was unexpected, but it made sense. We would be honored, Alex said finally. Commander Patel almost smiled. Good. Classes begin next week. She turned to leave, then paused at the door. Oh, and one more thing. The Corvin Dominion has officially requested peace talks with the Confederation. Apparently, they're particularly interested in establishing diplomatic relations with Earth. After she left, the 4 humans stood in silence for a moment. Well, Kyle said finally, I guess we made an impression. An entire species wants peace talks because 4 cadets stopped their invasion, Samantha said, shaking her head in disbelief. Not just 4 cadets, Olivia corrected. 4 DeathworLders. Alex looked again at the stars beyond the viewport. Humanity was still new to the galactic community, still finding its place. Today had changed things. For the Academy, for the Confederation, and perhaps for humanity's future among the stars. 1 hour, he said softly. I wonder what we'll do tomorrow.